This week on Engage the Sage.
Hi everyone, I'm Don Saucier. Welcome to this week's episode of Engage the Sage. Today, I'm going to talk to you about why my favorite day to teach is today. I firmly believe that I have the best job in the world. I don't think that teaching is the tax I pay to do my research. I think it is the most fulfilling and important thing that I do as a professor. Every day is an opportunity for me to share content with my students in a way that I find fulfilling, that I find validating, and I find the content so amazing. I think when I go into class, I want to have an empowering mindset for both myself and my students to see that the stuff we're doing that day is absolutely fascinating. So every day that I go into class is my favorite day. And today I'm going to tell you about some of the things that I keep in mind to help make that true for me. First thing I keep in mind is to understand that every day that I teach is valuable. I am going to emphasize to myself and to my students the importance of every single class session and every single class topic. I'm going to understand that I am going to exclusively teach things that are important and interesting in my class. When I do that, it means that every single aspect of every single day is something that is important and significant to achieving the learning that class is set up to achieve. And when I believe this, it is such a better day to teach. And when I believe this, it's such a better day for my students to learn. Now, the second thing I'm going to remember to make every day my favorite day is I'm going to remember that authenticity is key. Authenticity is literally the center of peace. That preparation, expertise, authenticity, caring, engagement, that authenticity is key. I need to bring an authentic belief that every day is the best day. To do that, I'm going to realize that I authentically believe in the importance and interesting nature of every topic that I introduce in my class. And I'm going to convey that. I'm not just going to think it, I'm going to convey that. We talked before about peace, do it and cue it. I'm going to think it and I'm going to convey it because my students want to learn from me, an actual human person who loves this stuff and not a brilliant robot. So I'm going to tell them I care about it. I'm going to tell them it's interesting. I'm going to use my experiences. I'm going to use my stories to demonstrate that too. I am not going to undercut the importance of the topics. I'm not going to make sarcastic or disingenuous statements about it. I'm going to make sure that they know I authentically believe in what I'm teaching them. And I'm going to tell them why I'm teaching it to them. I'm going to tell them why it's important and how it fits into the student learning outcomes for that class. The third thing I'm going to keep in mind is that in doing this, I'm going to activate trickle-down engagement. Trickle-down engagement is that process by which my engagement as an instructor is going to trickle down to positively affect the engagement of my students, which is also going to positively impact their learning. So the more engaged that I am, the more that I believe this stuff is amazing, the more they're going to believe it's amazing, and the better they're going to learn it. When I am genuinely engaged, I'm going to be more likely to go to class and be excited about that content. When I see this stuff as absolutely important and amazing, as crucial to the learning that I want my students to have, it is easier for me to get to that oasis of my classroom and to make the teaching and learning magic happen. Fourth thing I'm going to keep in mind is that there are no bad topics and no bad days in my class. Every single thing on my syllabus, every single thing on my topics list has to fit in for a reason. There has to be a reason that I'm teaching it to my students. And I'm going to make that reason explicit to both myself, so I believe in the importance, but to my students as well, so they believe me too. I'm going to remember that while teaching is sometimes challenging, I'm very lucky to have this position. And almost every single day, it's a great day. We sometimes have days where things go a little less than good. Maybe we have a little bit of that grumpy time of the semester. But I'm going to remind myself that more often than not, this is absolutely amazing, and I am lucky to have this role. And when I walk into class with my students, I remind myself of the privilege that I have to take advantage of their attention and attendance to share awesome stuff with them. And the fifth thing that I'm going to remember to make every day my favorite day in teaching is I'm going to focus on making my students engage and enjoy the content. I'm going to connect the material to my personal experiences, and I'm going to ask them to connect it to theirs. I'm going to show them why I think it's personally relevant, and I'm going to ask them to tell me why it's personally relevant. I'm going to share with them why I think it's professionally relevant. I'm going to ask them to share with me why it's professionally relevant for them too. I'm going to tell them why it fits the curriculum. I'm going to tell them why this is a vehicle for personal and professional development. I'm going to tell them why they're going to want to know this later. I'm going to tell them why they want to actually share this with their friends and family. I'm going to try to find as many ways that I can to communicate to my students the interest and importance of the material, but to also provide opportunities for them to deepen not only their understanding, but their connection to the content as well. And I'm going to mean it. Everything in my class needs to fit. And when everything fits, there are no bad days. There are exclusively good days in my classes. As an instructor, I think we have the opportunity and even the responsibility to find the great things about every single thing that we teach. And if you don't know those great things, do some reading, talk to a colleague. But everything that we teach is absolutely amazing if it fits in the content of our class. If it doesn't fit, don't teach it. But everything that we teach is amazing. To paraphrase one of my former graduate students, who's one of my current colleagues, Connor O'Day, every day in the class is the best day ever. In the comments below, I would love to hear any recommendations that you have for making every day your favorite day to teach. Thank you for watching this episode of Engage the Sage. Please like, subscribe, sign up for notifications, share us on social media, and we'll see you next time on Engage the Sage.